Sofia Coppola is a great director. A terrible actor,
Dad,
but a great director. Her films have been critically acclaimed and garnered her accolades from the Best Director award at Cannes to the Golden Lion at Venice to the Oscar for Best Screenplay in 2004. She makes movies that are wildly entertaining and mostly visually stunning. Coppola hasn't made a single meaningless movie. She loves exploring themes such as loss, the identity of the youth, and the meaning of celebrity. Her ever-changing perspective on these themes is noticeable when viewing her entire body of work, which is a rewarding experience for any movie lover. So now it's time to look at each film by Sofia Coppola, starting from the worst and ending with the best. Starting at number 6, we have 2013's The Bling Ring. This tale of a group of teens who become addicted to robbing high-profile celebrities is the only film on this list I wouldn't recommend. Remember how I put the mostly qualifier on Sofia Coppola's films are visually stunning? Well, this is the film that applies to. This is an ugly movie without a single creative shot and some truly horrid lighting. The acting is really bad and there are flaws everywhere. This doesn't completely take away from the good in this movie. There are some hilarious characters and fun moments of excess in the film. I thought it was odd that there's loads of drugs but no sex in the movie. I mean, it obviously wasn't afraid of an R rating, and these are rebellious teenagers at crazy parties, but I digress. The interesting part of the film is how it tackles celebrity culture. The main characters rob the celebrities out of admiration, an interesting concept that Coppola makes really good use of. You can tell that these characters only want a taste of the lives of a celebrity. It's billed as a crime flick, but more than anything, it's a film about envy. Overall, a film that has its charms despite being technically deficient. A solid 5 out of 10. Number 5 is a very strange film, Marie Antoinette. This is basically a teen comedy about the executed Queen of France. Kirsten Dunst is amazing in the title role. The Queen is portrayed as a spoiled teenage girl in way over her head, and it's really hilarious. The film is also beautiful. The cinematography is gorgeous, the editing is great, and there's some incredible production design. There are some great scenes that make fun of French opulence just by showing you the extent of it. The problem comes with the historical part of this period piece. Compared to the comedic, vibrant scenes set to contemporary technopop, the parts where King Louis just discusses politics are boring. It's a flawed film, but worth a watch. I'd give it a 7 out of 10. Number 4 is the film that won her a coveted Golden Lion, 2010 Somewhere. This movie is another all about celebrity, but this time from the perspective of the star. This film follows an A-list actor as he navigates his way through his personal relationships, specifically with his daughter. This brings the life of a Hollywood celebrity into the eyes of the wide-eyed daughter, amazed at the luxurious suite she now has access to that she is traveling with her dad. It also never forgets the darker side of a celebrity. The portrait of a clearly depressed man who knows he is too famous to have real friends again. There's this great scene near the beginning at a party. A guy comes up and asks him for advice. The main character brushes this aside as if every ounce of joy he likely once felt about his rise to stardom completely disappeared. It feels like he's one step away from falling into the hole of drinking and women, and he knows it. But to his daughter, he's a hero. That's what makes the film's exploration of celebrity so interesting. It does a wonderful job of balancing two sides to the same story. The lead's character arc is exceptionally well done. His daughter looks at her father with a wide-eyed sort of reverence that subtly inspires him throughout the film. You don't really recognize how much his daughter has changed him until it's already happened. It does drag a little and the script isn't perfect, but the nuanced explorations of its themes leads it to a rating of 8 out of 10. Now we get to the truly great stuff, and number 3 is her most recent work, 2017's The Beguiled. It follows Colin Farrell's handsome Civil War vet as he gets stranded in a mansion full of 6 girls who all start to fall madly in lust with him. Yes, the plot sounds straight out of a porno, but Coppola elevates it into a great work. It's a great script, not as thematic as her other films, but paced much more briskly. The film slowly builds up tension to a climactic scene at the end of Act 2 that is shocking, then it rebuilds up tension to a masterful dinner scene at the end of Act 3 that is even more shocking. The characters are great, the dialogue is great, the cinematography and production design is fantastic. Everything about this movie is a joy to behold. It's maybe the most tense and exciting of all her films. Beautiful, suspenseful, and darkly funny, I give this film a 9 out of 10. Next up is Coppola's debut feature. 1999's The Virgin Suicides is what I think is her second best film. It's clear in every frame just how much passion she poured into this project. Every shot is perfectly placed, every character is perfectly casted, and the script is extremely tight for such a sprawling story. The film follows a group of early teen boys as they become obsessed with a family of girls who eventually kill themselves. The film is Coppola's most entertaining when it comes to making a great teen comedy, but it never forgets that it is a tragedy with nuanced thematic content derived from the central question of why did these girls kill themselves and what did they leave behind. When it comes to what caused them to, it's rather ambiguous. Coppola appears to place the blame mostly on her overprotective parents, but it's pretty clear that's not the whole story. This does play into the theme of how the youth is treated. Coppola makes the case that the more you attempt to suppress a free spirit, the more free it will become. In that way, the suicide almost feels like a final rebellion from the rules of the former generation. When it comes to what is left behind, we once again get the theme of celebrity influence. The loss of the girls is viewed from the boys who narrate the story as opposed to the more obvious dramatic angle of the parents. This really shows that these girls are celebrities to the boys. They collect the girls' things and constantly think about them. The fact that these thoughts persist years after the suicides comments on just how impactful a celebrity can be on someone's life, even if they never really interacted. The Virgin Suicides is Coppola at her best, as entertaining as thought-provoking. A wonderful film from one of the best working directors, a very high 9 out of 10. Although The Virgin Suicide shows Coppola at her best, it isn't the best of Coppola. That honor goes to Lost in Translation. This is a film that combines every thematic element of Coppola's work into one genuine story of two people who meet in a foreign land. Bill Murray and Scarlett Johansson both milk every ounce of emotion from their characters. The acting is definitely a highlight of the film. Johansson was only 18 when the film released, but she convincingly plays a 25-year-old falling in love with a man twice her age. It's also one of Coppola's best looking movies. Every shot is gorgeous and the editing flows beautifully. Some images from the film are just burned in my mind weeks after seeing it. Both main characters are from completely different generations, yet you can tell their problems are the same, which is why the romance works so well. The obvious theme is that of being lost. On a surface level, the two characters are lost culturally in Japan, but on a more thematic note, they are lost in themselves. They are both in failing marriages where they feel devalued. They both want to change their lives, but never can make that massive leap to do so. The second theme continues Coppola's exploration of the meaning of celebrity. Murray's Bob is disillusioned with his life, no matter how successful he may be. He treats interviews and talk shows as a normal person would treat a desk job. One of the alluring things about Johansson is that she doesn't treat Bob as a celebrity, instead, she treats him as a person. These themes of identity and celebrity are the most realized in this film compared to Coppola's other work. I'd be remiss to not mention the ending, which is a stroke of genius. It's one of the greatest ambiguous endings in film history, an incredible way to subvert the trope of the genre while also leaving open the possibility for a continuation of the story. Each person will have a different interpretation of what happens in these final moments, but no matter who you are, it's heartwarming, sad, and exceptionally beautiful. I thought there was some forced conflict near the end, but besides that, the film is pretty perfect. Lost in Translation is Coppola's most acclaimed and her best. The most meticulously crafted of her work gets a 9 out of 10. There we are. Every Sofia Coppola film as of early 2020. You won't be sorry if you venture into her films just like I have. I would apologize for the really shitty audio, but I'm not about to buy a microphone for one goddamn YouTube video.